I'm sorry. You seem sad. I know you're happy about the guys coming in, but you do seem sad to lose your buddy.
It's the name of the game. I play in a business where that stuff happens.
It kind of feels like Love Island. He was voted off the
Hey, bro,
island.
I'm not doing that.
He was voted off the island.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Not Just Football. I'm Cam Heyward. You know my co-host, Hayden Walsh. We have an exciting episode going down today. We have Pascal Groß. He plays for the Dortmund team that's from Borussia?
You watch a lot of soccer.
I do.
It's very clear. You should have just played German
way.
national. You play for the German national team too.
Yes,
Yeah,
and they have a partnership with the Steelers as well. So very excited about that for you guys to have a listen at that. But I guess there's news we have to talk about.
There is news we have to talk about, and we actually got the news when we were together. At first, we were both very excited about the news because we thought there were big things happening in the Pittsburgh Steelers secondary.
Yeah.
And then we got the full brunt of the news. The news is Minkah Fitzpatrick has been traded to the Miami Dolphins with a 5th-round pick in exchange for Jonnu Smith, Jalen Ramsey, and a 7th-round pick. What are your initial reactions to it?
Let me say this first. I think it's really cool to bring in Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith. We actually had Jonnu on the pod at Pro Bowl. We think they can help out. But the way we heard about, first it was traded for Jalen Ramsey. And we're like, all right, that's cool. You got Minkah, you got Deshaun, you got Joey, and now you got Slay, and now you have Jalen Ramsey, and you think, like, damn, that's going to be really cool to see that those DBs just fly around. And then got the gut check of losing a really good teammate in Minkah Fitzpatrick, and I'm like, damn, like I don't know how I feel about it. It's bittersweet. Like, I've enjoyed playing with him, and I was kind of just shook by it all. And so, today's Monday, and I'm excited about the new teammates, but I'm also sad to be losing a guy that I really respect in our locker room. Yeah,
it was so weird. You picked me up at my hotel today, and we were both high-fiving, very excited about the news, because as you picked me up, we got the news.
Yeah.
And as we drove to PPG, your brother then texted and said Minkah was in the deal, which part of my language, your response was, no, he fucking isn't. And then I went and checked Adam Schefter's page and saw that Minkah was a part of the deal. And it honestly, it became very somber because I feel like losing Minkah, you've played with him for several years now.
Yeah.
I'd imagine, you could tell me if he's not, but he was a guy in the locker room that was really well respected and well liked and a leader. So it has to be kind of a weird feeling for you. Don't know how this changes the defense because it feels like now there's a hole at that spot at safety.
I don't know. I'm not going to assume. Sometimes you think you know the whole plan, but you don't. But we'll see what happens.
Was this one of the more shocking trades you've ever seen from a team, from your team?
It's a different shocking because, when we first traded for Minkah years back, I was pretty shocked by that. We don't really trade first-round picks.
No.
And then to bring in a guy like that, of that stature, we were all very excited, even though I think we had lost. We were 0-3 at the time. So then to jump and go get a player like that kind of invigorated the group. But yeah, it's going to be different. Guys are going to have to step up. Guys are going to have to, catch in where they fit in. And, the great thing about Jalen, though, is, he is ball savvy. He is able to play multiple positions. You've seen him play safety. You've seen him play corner. You've seen him play nickel. He provides that flexibility in a defense. But, man, didn't expect to lose a teammate like that.
No, I agree. I know it sucks. So let's go to the pot. Let's go to the guys that are coming in. You mentioned Jalen Ramsey has some flexibility. I think that's what you guys really like, that people can play multiple positions. How about Jonnu Smith? Like you said, we talked about the Pro Bowl. He had a great year last year. How does he fit in with that tight end room? Because now that room feels pretty crowded.
Yeah, a lot of guys in that position. My brother included.
Yes.
But I think all of them can eat in different ways. I think the main thing is having an offense that stays on the field. If you stay on the field, everybody eats. And so, Connor can play multiple positions. Jonnu can play, tight end, and, he can play fullback as well. So those two become interchangeable a little bit. But, you still got Darnell and Pat, and we got to feed those guys. And, you also got to feed the big guy outside with DK and Calvin. So, we definitely have a lot of parts on there, and it's up to Arthur Smith to make it work.
I think that name, though, this is what he does. He gets multiple tight ends. He gets everybody in the fold. So I'd imagine he played a role in this. I know Jonnu has played for Arthur Smith before, so there's some familiarity there. But man, I cannot get over the range of emotions that we had this morning. It was so weird when we both found out. It was almost surreal. Like when we pulled into PPG, we were both like in shock.
And like I want to be respectful of like the newer players because like they didn't do anything.
No,
it's just I think you have so much respect for like a Minkah Fitzpatrick, and you've seen him seal games, and you've seen him be a game changer. You never want to lose guys like that.
Well, and I think you could talk to this more, but a lot was made that he wasn't making the quote-unquote splash plays over the last thing. But I was talking to somebody else. It was like, just because he may not making the splash plays doesn't mean he isn't keeping everybody in check in the back end, and that's going to be different without that on the back end of the secondary, right?
Yeah, it could be. And I think, like I said, other guys are going to have to step up. But, it was definitely a safety blanket having, Minkah, make some really game-saving tackles and, game-saving plays. It's not just interceptions. I know some people like to get caught with that, but Minkah is a very smart individual, takes calculated risk at times, but he is always bought into the team.
All right, well, I'm sorry. You seem sad. I know you're happy about the guys coming in, but you do seem sad to lose your buddy.
I'm not, I'm still going to be his teammate regardless of what team he's on. So, I'm thankful at that time, and like I don't like to throw a moratorium for him, but like it's just different, and so that's the name of the game. I play in a business where that stuff happens.
It kind of feels like Love Island. He was voted off the island.
I'm not doing that.
He was voted off the island. Okay, he should be Huda. He should have been. He should have stayed. Why? Right? It's like Love Island.
Don't get me started on Love Island.
You into it though, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
It's dude, I gotta catch up.
The most cringiest thing.
I gotta catch up, but all the seeds I've been seeing from this most recent episode look great. So you should catch up. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Okay.
Cool.
All right. Well, you want to go to Ask Cam anything now?
I guess.
All right,
let's go for it.
I promise I won't ask you any more things about Minkah Fitzpatrick or any of your new teammates, okay? Because I am not in control of these questions. All right, ask him anything. Here we go. Braden Youngblood wants to know, what primetime day or time slot is your favorite to play in?
Ooh, give me that 4:25. Just right. I think you don't have to wake up super early, get a good breakfast, wake up, enjoy the morning, get to the stadium around like noon, 1 o'clock. Go through every bit of your routine, but then you still get that nighttime crowd where everybody's there. So that's the time I enjoy.
That's home game though, right? Because the
Definitely.
road 425 road's gotta suck.
425. 425 road for like a regional game,
like Cincinnati, Cleveland.
Not bad at all.
But out west, or something?
Out west, but you have to have those out west
know,
because if you get an 8 o'clock out west, you're done.
What time do you guys get home on those?
If it's a West Coast game,
Yeah.
I'm getting home at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning.
And then you got to go back the next morning?
Yeah.
All right. Steelers 447 wants to know, what are your top 3 favorite go-to food/meals?
Ooh, go-to food/meals. I love jambalaya.
Really?
Shrimp.
Never seen you eat jambalaya. I don't think I've ever seen you eat jambalaya.
I was raised on jambalaya.
Oh, okay.
I like a linguine salad. Yeah.
Okay.
Linguine salad is underrated. My mom used to make it all the time. That was like one of my favorite meals. And then my wife makes Korean beef. Fire. Hits the spot every single time. And I'll give you an extra one. She makes Christy Teigen pasta.
I think I've had that one.
Kids go crazy.
I think I've actually had that one.
Yes.
That's a pretty underrated
slaps.
That's a pretty underrated cookbook, doesn't it? Isn't that the one with the miso cod? She makes it. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
Christy Teigen pasta. Shout out Christy Teigen. Throws it down.
Very veteran move there. Get your a meal your mom made and a meal your wife made. Very smart.
Yes.
That's why you're a good guy. Last one from Jimmy V's Cardi. RoboCop versus Terminator. Who wins?
Oh, I'm gonna say Terminator. Dude doesn't die. And
isn't RoboCop like indestructible?
I feel like he breaks down though, a bunch.
I don't know, man. I haven't seen those movies in so long.
Yeah, but there's like 8 Terminator movies.
That's true.
There's only like 2 RoboCops. One's sustainable and one's not.
Yeah, but what would modern RoboCop look like? That dude would be pretty impressive.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, it'd be pretty impressive.
It probably have its own AI and stuff, and probably be controlled by like ChatGPT.
Yeah, well, we know you are a big supporter of ChatGPT. Which, by the way, did you see the ChatGPT CEO came out and said, "Do not trust ChatGPT"?
I don't trust it.
You trust it with your life.
I use it as a accessory.
You do everything on ChatGPT.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I ask ChatGPT dumb questions just to see if it answers it like correctly.
You need to stop. No, you need to stop doing that. All right, you need to stop doing that.
Before we go on, I want to mention with our Ask Him Anything, make sure you send your questions. We will answer them week in and week out. I'll try to be as nice as possible and respectful, but I'm not making any promises.
Yeah, I know. Just answer the question. That's all we need from you, okay?
I'll answer it.
Yeah, that's all we need from you.
All right, guys, we have a new segment coming in play right now. It's not just football meets not just movies, and we are going to dive head on into head-to-head Ultimate Fantasy Football draft, but instead of NFL players, we're picking our favorite movie characters to build the perfect football team. 22 positions, unlimited movie history to choose from. Let's see who can put together the best team. Hayden, you want to go first?
No, I'll let you do the honors. Go for it.
My quarterback, I'm actually going to go with Shane Falco from Ohio State, replacements.
So the guy who wasn't good enough to play in the league, he had to be a replacement player. Okay.
He was good enough to play in the league.
Do I need to say who my quarterback is? Do I need to say my quarterback?
He was good enough to play. He just got in trouble for gambling.
No, that was never part of the story.
Yes, he did. He was point shaving.
That is not true. He hurt his knee in the Sugar Bowl and blew the Sugar Bowl.
Oh.
Yeah, you're just making up things now. Do I need to say who my quarterback is?
Yeah.
Oh, Steamin' Willie Beeman from Any Given Sunday.
That was my second choice.
Yeah, Steamin' Willie Beeman.
He's all right.
I mean, he at least made the league. Falco had to get called into the league. Who's your running backs?
All right, I got a fullback. Guard Dunham. Do you know who that is?
No.
Stone Cold from The Longest Yard.
Oh, okay.
And the most famous line in that whole movie, that's how a white man runs the football.
Okay. Right. I'm going to go to The Longest Yard as well, too. Maggot is going to be my running back. Nelly in the movie.
Well, he's going to be my running back, but that was my fullback. You don't have a fullback?
No. What current team really is a fullback? We're playing modern football.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
We're playing modern football. We're no fullback. We're just going two running backs. Maggot.
Well, Earl Maggot will be my other running back.
Oh, I have another running back, Julian Washington from Any Given Sunday. That's LL Cool J's character. I like to have continuity on my team. So some of these guys have played together.
Hopefully he gets drug tested because he was doing a lot of coke in that game.
Okay, well, you know what? Coke gets out of your system fast, so.
God. Tight end. My tight end.
This is pretty obvious, I think.
It's Brian Murphy from The Replacements.
That's mine too.
It's Roy from The Office. You've seen him dominate in an office. You've seen him dominate on the field. He was actually deaf at the time, but now he can hear everything.
Is there even another tight end available? Like, I really didn't even know.
I don't think there is. There's only one tight end.
Tight end has never really been featured in any movie or show, so it was tough. But yeah, he's my tight end as well.
Wide receivers, you want to go?
I have my first wide receiver is Deacon Moss from Michael Irvin from Longest Yard.
So my first one was Rod Tidwell from Jerry Maguire.
He's on my roster as well too.
So I have two wide receivers, Rod Tidwell and Deacon Moss.
My third wide receiver is Buddy from the movie Air Bud. He dynamic player, can really make the moves, and he was a really great player. So I think Buddy would be a huge guy. Let Tidwell in the slot, Buddy and Deacon on the outside.
Okay, I'm gonna move on to real football people, at least, or real people in general, because that's not a person.
Did Buddy not play football?
Yeah, but do you really think he was playing against children? He was playing against grown men.
Who was Shane Falco playing against? Aside from that last game, he was playing against all replacement players. So who cares?
That last game.
Yeah, Dallas crossed the line. Yeah, Dallas crossed.
You think it's right he showed up halfway through the game?
That's an ineligible player, totally illegal. You can't just show up. How did he even get through security at that point, too? Okay.
That is wild.
Who your offensive lineman?
My tackle, Michael Orr from The Blind Side.
Isn't he a real person?
But I'm taking the one from the movie.
All right, well, I like continuity on my offensive line, so I actually have three guys that played together. Actually, they blocked for your boy, Falco. It's Jamal and Andre Jackson are my tackles, and then I got Jumbo Fukiomo is my guard, too, is one of my guards. So I like continuity on my offensive line. The guy who
Okay.
eats all the eggs before.
Oh, the one that says,
Undiscar.
yes.
Yeah.
Undiscar.
Yeah.
The other tackle I have is Turley from the longest yard.
Yeah, I thought about him too.
That's the great collie, just really big in general. I did take the Jacksons from the replacements to be my guards. And then I chose as center Louis Lastic from Remember the Titans.
I had Louis Lastic at guard. I picked Billy Bob from Varsity Blues to be my center.
Nah, I'm not taking Billy. Billy Bob.
No, we're taking Billy Bob.
Struggling.
No, we're taking
too many concussions.
No. Billy Bob.
Way too many concussions.
Billy Bob got a hold of the concussions, dropped some poundage, but he's ready to go and play center for us. He's good.
All right, let's move the defensive side of the ball. Defensive tackles, who you got?
I actually took Turley from longest yard. We're going to move him to the other side of the ball. We want him to stuff up the middle. And then on my ends, I've got Vontae Mack. Actually, you'd probably appreciate that one. He's an Ohio State guy. And, Charles Jefferson from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, Forrest Whitaker's character. Go watch the movie. He totally dominates those guys.
Okay, for my defensive tackles, I have Icebox Becky from Little Giants.
Dude, you don't think Billy Bob can block her?
Nah, Billy Bob is not blocking.
Billy Bob's gonna run her into the ground.
Blocking Icebox.
And don't even let Jumbo get to her on like a get to the second level, like a shove off.
But then I have another D tackle too. I have Switowski, Bob Satt from the longest yard.
Oh, we're gonna run all over you.
No, you're not. No,
we're
you're
gonna
not.
run all over you.
Then my D ends, I have Julius Campbell from Remember the Titans, and then I have Battle, who is Goldberg in longest yard.
Oh, nice. All right, my outside linebackers are Luther Shark LeVay, Lawrence Taylor from Any Given Sunday. And my other outside linebacker is... I don't have another outside linebacker right now. Bobby Boucher and Thad Castle are my middle linebackers.
Wow. So I have Bobby Boucher as my inside linebacker. I have Luther Shark LeVay as my other inside linebacker. And then Dark Horse, Daniel Bateman from Any Given... from the replacements. You know,
Oh, yeah,
John
Favreau. I actually was going to have Favreau there too. I just didn't know where to put him, middle or outside. I figured Shark could probably rush the passer better than Daniel, so that's why I picked him there. But yeah, you want to go your corners?
Yeah, the first corner I'm really proud of, Ray Smith from the replacements. He was formerly in prison, but
Is it Ray Smith or is it Earl Wilkinson was in
I thought
prison?
it was Ray Smith.
I think it's Earl Wilkinson because he's my free safety.
Well, I don't know. They had two of them, so I'm taking the one from prison.
Okay.
And then the other one, this one's probably going to get picked on a lot. Alan Bosley. Do you know who that is?
No.
Ryan Gosling in
Oh,
Remember the Titans.
absolutely
He's
not.
getting picked
no
up
way.
the entire
No way.
game.
No, in fact, I actually picked Petey, even though he quit on his team. But Ryan Gosling couldn't keep up with anybody. He was getting torched in high school. How do you expect him to play in pros?
So my safeties are Vontae Mack, because Vontae Mack played safety too.
Oh, I thought he was an outside guy.
I don't know. We're going to move him around, and he's
Nice.
from draft day.
He's an end and a safety.
And then Petey Jones is going to be my other safety as well.
My safeties are Earl Wilkinson and I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but it's Tom Cruise and all the right moves. Steven Jordovich. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Tom can't play corner, so we got to put him back at safety and hope he can play against the run a little bit.
The only thing going for Tom that is really good at his age, he runs in every movie.
Yeah, so he's still going to be good.
He's
Yeah.
going to be in good shape. Back to head coaches. You got somebody?
Yeah, Tony D'Amato, Any Given Sunday, Al Pacino.
Oh, great speeches.
Amazing speech.
A little bit of a drunk, but
You know what? That's just over time, I think the years of being in the league really got on him.
my head coach was probably going to be Herman Boone from Remember the Titans.
Yeah. No, that's a good one. Who are your kickers?
My kicker is actually Nigel Gruff from the replacements.
I made him a
He's
punter.
wiry.
I made him a punter. Didn't trust that I figured he'd be shaving points, considering that was a huge issue for him when he came over.
But he smokes a cigarette
and he
when
was
he
purposely, just let him punt. And then my kicker would be Lawrence Gillard Jr. from Waterboy.
God, he was terrible.
He was amazing.
He started making kicks at the end of the season.
He started making kicks when he started using Bobby Boucher's trick,
Wow.
and it worked.
Do you have an assistant coach?
No.
I have one.
Who's your assistant coach?
James Caretaker Farrell. Chris Rock in the longest yard.
That's not an assistant coach.
Yes, he
That's
is.
a manager.
No, but he gets things done.
That's a trainer.
He knows what every player needs.
That's a trainer.
And he's
Doesn't
going to be a
count.
collective of trainer, assistant coach, and equipment coach.
That's a lot for one guy to do. You're asking a lot. I don't think that counts.
This team doesn't need a lot.
Yeah, it does. Does. It's going to be a lot to stop us with that run defense, okay? Icebox about to get shoved into a locker, okay, by Billy Bob.
Billy Bob's about to be on the sideline very quick.
We probably do need a backup for Billy Bob. I will say, you're only going to get 12 games out of that guy. But yeah, I feel you. But it was pretty good. I think my roster's better.
I don't think so.
How are you going to guard Buddy? You don't have anybody who can keep up with Buddy.
I'll just keep dog treats in my
No, that doesn't count.
It doesn't matter. That dog is going to be done.
It does not count. No, Buddy's really good.
And what if he has hip dysplasia?
What? Don't put that on Buddy. Buddy's a world-class athlete. He didn't get hip dysplasia.
He's played enough sports.
No, he's good.
He probably needs
That's a different dog, man. The same one don't play basketball.
Yes, he does.
No, it does. It's a different guy.
It's the same dog.
Total different dog. The one that played hockey does not play basketball. Come on.
They had one that played hockey?
I think so. I think they did airbud hockey at one point, too.
All right, we got to quit with the airbud movies.
Why?
Because they're terrible.
Okay. I mean, you thought Shade Falco was point shaving.
You thought he was.
No, you said that.
I did think he was. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed our all 22, not just movies, fantasy team. We're going to try this with some other different stuff, but let us know what you think. We have a special guest. He's a dynamic midfielder that's making it happen from the Premier Leagues for years. Is known for his clutch performances and ability to change games when it matters most. From the German national team to the Brighton Borussia Dortmund, he's been a key player wherever he goes. Pascal Groß, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very much for introducing me like that. I'm looking forward to this podcast. Yeah, like you said, we're here in America. And yeah, it's really nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you as well. I got to say, you got a really cool black background right now. We know you're here for the FIFA World Cup, and it looks beautiful outside. You know, you're going to get a chance to get a tan out there, enjoy the cup, and get ready for the game?
Yes, it's really hot, to be fair. Like, it's nice to enjoy the weather like that, but when we're out on the training pitch, we definitely feel the heat. We felt the heat in the first couple of games. It's a different heat down here, I would say, than in Europe, but we're getting used to it more and more.
I love that. Before we jump into a lot of other cool stuff, I got to ask, with Dortmund and the Steelers announcing the new partnership back in April, were you surprised, and have you had time to look at what the Steelers are about?
I follow the NFL Red Zone every Sunday since, I would say, 10 years. So I'm into the sport really, really much. I love it. I love your sport, the way you play it. So yeah, I think the partnership is great because we share the same colors, both historical clubs, big club with a big fan base, and I think it's a great opportunity for both clubs. Also, people traveling down to Europe, they have a chance to go in our stadium. It's something special. And I say the other way around as well, I think, to get a chance to watch Steelers games. I hope the fans get connected as well.
I can't wait. You know, hopefully this gives me, it's an excuse for me to go to more soccer games. How about that?
Yeah, you can go to the Yellow Wall. It's a special trip, I promise you.
But I got to ask about the FIFA Club World Cup. Give us a game plan for who you're about to be playing in the next couple of days.
We're now in the stage, we play in the last 16th in knockout stages. So we will play in Atlanta, Monterrey. It's a Mexican team. It's a little bit unknown for us as well because we have more knowledge about all the European teams, I would say. But it's fantastic because we played against teams from South Africa, South Korea, and Brazil, and it's something we never did before in the competition. And now we have Mexicans. They play very tough, very aggressive. So we need to be ready, and we want to go through to the last 8.
I think one. Oh, okay. I don't know. Something might just happen, but I'll pick right back up. What do your Europeans think about MLS as a league?
I think the MLS, obviously with Messi, got a little bit more like now people watching it. I don't think it's the strongest league, I would say, but I think it's a lot of improvements. I've been in America a couple times with the German national team before, and also with Brighton in pre-seasons, and you see the training grounds and how they developed, and now we played here in the stadiums, and I think they're going in the right direction. And I think now with this Club World Cup and the big World Cup next year, I think it's a big chance for the country to develop that sport, where I know it's not the main sport in this country. There are 4 other big sports. So, but the sport have a chance, I think, with all the best players around the world coming over, that maybe more and more people like to watch it.
Yeah, it's definitely not our main sport. We got a lot of big sports over here.
Yeah.
But one thing I am jealous about in your sport is the playing surface. You guys take such good care of your fields, and as an NFL guy, that's all we complain about is the NFL stadiums not having the right fields. What is the biggest difference in turf and fields for you guys?
For example, playing now here, when we play in the big and in the NFL stadiums, the grass or the turf, what is on the pitch right now here, is totally different to the grass we play in Europe. So, and for us, because the ball is a lot on the floor, what in your case it's not like that. The bounces and everything, how you hit the ball, it can make a big difference. So, I think to have a good pitch is really important when you want to play your best football. It's like in the NFL, I think you need maybe what you're wearing, your boots, or like the game plan. Everything the circumstances needs to be good if you want to play your A game, I think.
I love that. So we have the FIFA World Cup now, and then we have to prepare for the World Cup next summer here. Is this going to give you an advantage coming back to North America?
I think I learned so much already here because, like I said before, playing in the heat, like we never did it like that, with the humility like that. Like you have to adjust your game a little bit, then the pitches a little bit different. But when you felt that before, it can help you, because in the end it's all excuses, and excuses doesn't count. You need to find a way to win the game. Doesn't matter which turf, even if you want to have the best one, if it's not there, you have to find a way to win it. And so I think, in my opinion, it's a great learning for all the people or all the players coming back next year. They felt already how big the country is, the travels, and all that is all very different in Europe. But I think it's really nice to be here. It's nice to see all the stadiums, and bring football, bring soccer over here.
How are you adjusting to, being over in Europe and their food to now being in North America with our food? I know it's completely different. Which one are you enjoying more?
I enjoy playing in Europe, to be fair. I enjoy because in Europe, football is like the NFL here. It's the number one sport. We sell out every stadium. When we play at home, we have 81,000 people. Doesn't matter who we play. We can play against small teams in the cup, and it's sold out. When they open the doors, the stadiums are full, and we have great atmosphere. The fans are singing. The fans having a great time. They push us. They're there from the start to the end. So that's what it is about, because you feel the passion, you feel the adrenaline, and that's a little bit more in Europe, I would say.
Well, I said food, so I want to know, do you prefer European food or American food more, since you're now in North America right now?
I would always go with the European food. You have very good fast food, but I think in Europe, we have a lot of different cuisines. So we have Italian food, we have Greek food, we have German food. So there's a lot of mix, I would say. You can, if we take whole Europe, you can have everything. So I would prefer that.
Oh, okay. I'll give you that one. I know you spent a lot of time in England with Brighton, and then moved over to playing in Germany and playing in Bundesliga.
Yes.
I said that right?
Yeah, perfect.
What does it feel about being back in Germany?
Yeah, for me it's really nice because, like you said, as a kid you dream to play in the Bundesliga when you grow up in Germany. if I compare, like as a kid, you want to play in the NFL, you want to make it, and like to do that was incredible. But I was really young and then played a long time in the UK, in England, in the Premier League, and I had the feeling I not showed my best yet back home, basically. So for me, it was nice to come back home to the Bundesliga, to a big club, and can play football when I'm on my highest level back home and closer to the family. There are always pros and cons, but yeah, I enjoy playing for Dortmund because the most enjoyable thing is, I always say this, is our home games, because it's something special, and I watched it as a kid, the stadium, and now to be able to play in there is really nice.
All right, let's move to your football connection. I got to ask, though, as, a professional athlete, one thing I deal with being back in, like, my home city, everybody else asking for tickets.
Yes.
Does that happen a lot with you?
Yes. You have to be, you're buying a lot of tickets. Yeah. Like, your family, your friends, and for them it's always a great time because it's like it's a day out for them. They come to the stadium, they have a drink, they enjoy, and it's totally different. But that's where, I try to get the most amount of tickets what I can get for family and friends. But I think we all have the same problems with that.
Very true. And then now that we have a European game, everybody thinks they're all going to fly out to Europe. And I'm like, guys, we don't have to do that. You guys can just watch me on TV.
Yeah, but it's a good chance for them to see Europe.
Yeah.
And maybe watch a game of you. It's an excuse for them to get out as well.
Well, it's an excuse to go on a vacation.
Yes.
And it's not a vacation for me.
No, I know what you mean. I have sometimes exactly the same. Yeah.
I want to talk about, you said you've watched football since you were about 10 years old. Do you have any fandom towards the Steelers?
Yes, I watch it a lot, and I supported it all the years with Big Ben, and like I have a jersey of him at home, and like I bought different kind of jerseys, and the Steelers always I really liked how the club is, the atmosphere with the towels and everything. Like, I really enjoyed it. And like in sports, in other sports, American sports, like NBA, for example, I always supported the Mavericks because of Nowitzki, German guys. I try to support the Germans, like NHL, Oilers with Draisaitl, but Steelers. Now we have one with St. Brown at Detroit Lions, wide receiver who's really good. Yeah. But it was before when I had to choose my team. And I also was a Dortmund fan as a kid, and the colors, I really liked it. So at the start, there was not, I just made my mind up, like when I watched it, which team I like. And the Steelers was it then, and I support them still then.
All right, so you gave me 3 teams, Detroit, the Dolphins, and the Steelers. Do you have a favorite game that you watched and thought that was amazing?
I always think there's not that one game, but I always think the playoffs when you play it in, like you play the regular season, but I always have the feeling the playoffs are a whole different intensity sometimes. I think there's so much on the line for you guys where I sometimes can't really believe that one play or 2 plays at the end of the game can define a whole season. And can define like maybe how you look at the season. Like I think that's where it's really brutal. Like with us, every game counts, and then at the end, from start to finish, that's the table. But in your case, if you make it to the playoffs, you have a whole new chance basically to go and win it all. And that's, I think, is the biggest difference between American sports and also soccer in Europe. That like, as long as you get to the playoffs, I think a lot of things can happen. And I think in the NFL, it's crazy, the pressure on the quarterback sometimes, like 2-minute warning, and then you have maybe a drive to go through or not. And I always think that's ridiculous because everybody has to do now the perfect job. Is it a block? Is it maybe you have to sack the quarterback to not getting them to 10 yards? Like there's so many margins what can decide the whole season. That's really what impresses me a lot. But there's not this one game. There was so many games where I couldn't believe what I was watching in the end.
I'm usually like that too. It does come down to a couple plays in the middle of a game, and you're like, or the end of a game, and you're like, wow, like it's literally got to be perfect to get it down the field. So it's been fun to be a part of. You got to tell us about the yellow wall in Dortmund Stadium. It's the single largest stand in European soccer, standing space of 25,000 fans. What is it like playing in front of that?
Yeah, it's what I mean. It's the most special thing. You see them pictures. They're all there when we go out for warm-up already. It's so loud. It's incredible. And they win us games. That's really, that's the reality, because if you're not used to playing that kind of stadium, that kind of environment, you will come there and I'm not sure if you 100% believe that you can win with them kinds of stadium. Like obviously the big clubs, there are big players who are used to do that. It's a little bit different, but every other club, I have the feeling we are so hard to beat, because it's impressive. It's 25,000 people, and they're there for not only the 90 minutes of the games, and they're very loud. Like you have the feeling it's like a wave when you attack. Like you really have the feeling you have an extra player there. So I never felt something like that before. I played against Dortmund when I was a different club, and I had this kind of feeling like, yeah, we're good in the game, but you're not really sure like if you can make it to the end. And now I'm on the other side, and we won big games also last season, even against Barcelona at home. You have some nights there under the floodlight. Always when we play night games, it's even more impressive. But yeah, the stadium is really historical, I would say.
Is there a song that gets playing that just, makes it go ruckus in there?
We have one song at the warm-up. In the warm-up when we go out, it's already crazy how loud it is. The first time I felt it, I couldn't believe it. And then we have our normal fan songs.
What's the one song at the beginning?
Like, for example, with Heya BVB. And then that's when we go out on the pitch. That's a very popular song. And yeah, there are many songs how they support us. But if you will visit it one day, you know what I mean. Like, because there are a lot of stadiums in Europe, but this stadium is really something special with them fans.
If you could experience any American sports venue, which one and why?
Without a doubt, Super Bowl. It's on my bucket list. I watch it every year, and like, I know it's a big show as well, but I think, like I said, like you basically play for the ultimate prize in one game, and I always really looking forward when it is.
Bringing up your football journey and your path to success, I noticed you have no social media. How are you able to do that?
I think it gives me a lot of freedom. I know how I'm not against social media, so I always say this. I have zero problem with social media, and but for me, I deleted that quite early, and I'm very happy with it, because our life, we play every 3 days normally, and our life is like this, like with the media. You either you win, you're good, and you lose, you're bad. And I think social media is really try to get you even higher or lower, depends which direction you go. And also the world, I think you can use it really positive. For example, you have a podcast, you bring it out, maybe with you playing for the Steelers, the fan base, they watch it. I think it's top, it's positive. But for young kids also, it can be really negative if you have kids, because people show the ideal world on their profile. They show the best vacation, they show this. No one showing pictures where they maybe not feeling great or suffering. So people chasing a life what is not real as well, especially kids, when their idols posting or doing certain things. I think you easily can get carried away with social media if you don't use it the right way. And yeah, I'm fine without it. There's only one
Better
negative.
without it.
Yeah, maybe one negative. Maybe if you have some sponsorships or something, they want social media, you get a little bit more, but that's the rest. All the rest, I'm fine.
Do you have any football heroes growing up?
Yes. Like Zinedine Zidane was a big hero, played for Real Madrid. He was one of the best players in the world. Where I always watch his YouTube videos, and I would say my dad, he coached me a lot and he helped me a lot in terms of values, in terms of attitude, how you should approach your sport, your training. Very old school, but still helpful.
Do you have a favorite match or moment let me rephrase that. Do you have a favorite match or moment you've been a part of?
Couple moments, difficult to say one, but I will say the one proudest moment, I would say. I had to work really long and hard to got called up to the German national team. And for me as a kid, it was my dream, my whole career to represent my country. So that was my proudest moment in football, I would say, to represent Germany. You don't have it, huh? Really, like, you don't have a national team. You don't.
No.
That's not like it's. But you would be proud to represent your country and play maybe against. The problem is you're too strong. You would beat every other nation. There's no competition.
Yeah, like we're having NFL flag or flag go to the Olympics. I wish we had real football go into the Olympics.
Yes.
I think that'd be really fun to show the world what we're all about.
Like the basketball team did now in Paris. I think they enjoy to play like the NBA players. I think they enjoy to go to Paris, represent their country, and win a gold medal. I think it's something really special.
I know. I would definitely want to take part in that. Do you have any pre-match rituals before big games?
For me, it's just my routine, like having my breakfast, pre-match meal, and play a little bit of two-touch with my teammate to get a little bit feeling the ball already, and then I'm ready to go out. It's quite, in football, it's quite, it's also different, I would say. So we eat in the hotel, and then we drive to the stadium, and we arrive maybe 30 minutes before we go out for warm-up.
Wow.
So,
only 30 minutes. Wow, you guys get right to it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So it's different because you don't want to be too long in the changing rooms because the setup is also different there. It's not like you have big spaces to prepare yourself. You have a couple bikes, couple mats where you can stretch, you get your body ready, you have maybe some treatment or strappings, and then we go out for the warm-up, and that warm-up should make us ready for the game.
If Pascal Groß could play any NFL football position, what would he play?
I think the only chance I maybe would have would be a kicker. With my body and my physicality, I can't help you.
Oh,
maybe quarterback. I have a good, like with my feet, my strength is to pick up teammates, assisting. So I don't have it. I have it in my feet, but not in my arm. But like reading the game and like finding a spare player, quarterback, I know it's the most difficult and the position probably, I would say. But that's a nice position to play in.
No slot receiver or nickel back?
No. No. But I'm like, it's so impressive. I watch this and I think it's so physical. But I think our bodies, like even the football players, there are not a lot of football players I really could imagine playing American football.
So you don't think there's a position for me?
For you? I think you're too tall. Maybe target man up top. You can hold the ball, you're strong. We can play it into you and you hold it up for us. Number 9.
It's funny for me because like growing up playing, soccer, I always wanted to play goalie because I didn't want to run around. But goalies got a lot on their plate these days.
No, that's what I mean. But also the sport, that's what I mean, is totally different. With our sport, it's 90 minutes, little breaks, but basically non-stop. And your sport is, I would say, sharper, but then shorter. Depends how long you're on the field. You've been probably too often on the field this season.
Yeah, I would love if the offense was on the field a lot more.
Yeah.
What advice would you give young Pascal? Because I heard you started pro at 17 years old. Is that right?
Yes.
What advice would you give your younger self?
I think just the attitude, the mentality, and try to do everything what is in your hands, because the only thing I can change is what I have in my hands. So don't get carried away with circumstances around you who takes energy out of you where you can't affect it. So just focus on what you can affect, but be a team player. Put your ego to the side and try to focus on what you can affect.
All right, I got one last question, then we're going to do a quick game.
Yeah.
If you could play alongside any footballer, past or present, who would it be?
Zidane, Zinedine Zidane, the same. My idol, I watched all the videos. To play alongside him, or like to feel how he plays the game close. Like I watch a lot, I try to study a lot of players and the best players, how they do certain things in certain situations. But to feel him on the pitch, how he would play, would be amazing.
That's awesome. All right, we got one last quick game. We like to do this before we wrap up. It's called This or That. I ask you two different things. You tell me which one you prefer.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yes.
Bundesliga or Bundesliga or Premier League?
Premier League.
Brighton or Dortmund experience?
Dortmund.
Passing or scoring goals?
Scoring.
Club football or national football? International football?
It's difficult. International.
German football fans or English football fans?
German football fans.
Hit a perfect assist or score a goal?
Perfect assist.
Weisswurst or fish and chips?
Fish and chips.
Pretzels or biscuits?
Pretzel.
Weiss beer or bitter ale?
What is bitter ale? Is it also beer?
Yeah.
Weiss beer.
All right, you did it. You knocked it out. You weren't worried at all.
Yeah, there was a couple where it was difficult, I would say, but yeah, it was all right.
Oh, I got one last one to throw at you. You playing American football or me playing how should I say it? Soccer.
Yeah. I think you play soccer.
Oh, you're being kind.
I think you play soccer. They run all over me when I play there.
Well, I want to say thank you so much, Pascal, for coming on. It was a pleasure to get to know you. You know, we appreciate you entertaining us with all your answers. Good luck
Thank you.
FIFA World Cup. You guys have an amazing game. I think you guys are going to, win this one, go on for a good bit, and hopefully bring home that World Cup.
Thank you very much. I enjoyed it a lot, and I wish you all the best for the upcoming season. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you, Pascal.
Bye-bye.